Hey everyone, and welcome back. Okay, so today we're looking at something that's honestly truly extraordinary. We are digging into something that completely upends our everyday expectations of, well, standard digital content. We're exploring a highly anticipated artifact created by the YouTube channel Stanzomania. It's simply titled Toyota Land Cruiser 2021. So, prepare yourselves, Take a deep breath, because this isn't just some brief explainer about a vehicle. No, this is a meticulous analysis of a deeply profound statement. We're literally diving into a piece of media that challenges the very fabric of how we consume automotive content today.
We're actually going to bypass our traditional agenda today, because what we have in front of us completely defies standard categorization. I mean, think about the era we live in, right? We exist in a landscape where digital media is just completely oversaturated. Every single automotive review you click on is packed with these endless, exhausting sponsored segments, super deep dives into infinitesimal spec sheets, hyperkinetic editing, and hosts practically screaming at you to subscribe. It's an overwhelming barrage of information. But here, Stanzomania has delivered what can really only be described as a masterclass in minimalist automotive media. It's this incredibly self-aware piece of digital art that just strips away all the noise, all that frantic energy, leaving us with the purest, most unadulterated essence of the Land Cruiser. It basically asks us to stop listening to the noise and start actually experiencing the presence.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the staggering contrast we're presented with. Over on the left side, we have the title of the source material, Toyota Land Cruiser 2021. Now, that is a comprehensive, highly specific, and incredibly loaded name. The phrase Land Cruiser isn't just a car model, it's practically a global institution. It instantly conjures up these images of rugged capability, bulletproof reliability, luxury, off-road dominance, and literally decades of legendary automotive heritage traversing the most inhospitable environments on Earth. When you see that title, you immediately expect a 30-minute deep dive into the V8 engine, an analysis of its staggering towing capacity, maybe a critique of its redesigned interior, or a breakdown of its intricate locking differentials. You braced yourself for an absolute avalanche of data. But then, shift your focus over to the right. The entire singular transcript of the source material. That's it. 2 letters, 1 syllable. The massive, weighty, historical legacy of the Land Cruiser met with a microscopic, blink-and-you-miss-it reality. It is a subversion of expectations on a monumental scale.
1. Just 1. That single digit represents the exact total count of words spoken in this entire piece of source material. Just 1 word. I mean, think about the deliberate nature of that artistic choice. Someone went out, set up a camera, filmed the 2021 Toyota Land Cruiser, took that footage into an editing bay, and made the incredibly bold decision that a single word was entirely sufficient to convey its absolute majesty. In a world of endless, overwhelming chatter, where creators are terrified of a single second of dead air, Stanzomania looked at the mighty Land Cruiser and decided that silence, interrupted by just one solitary utterance, was the only appropriate response.
And what was that singular, meticulously chosen word? Ha! It just hangs there in the air, doesn't it? The absolute climax of Stanzomania's artistic utterance. It's not a word of description. It's not a specification. It's a visceral, human reaction. It is the sound of an exhale, a real release of tension, a moment of pure realization perfectly preserved in digital amber.
So this brings us to a working definition based on the source context. An exclamation expressing awe, realization, or being completely speechless at the sight of a 2021 Land Cruiser. Think about the incredible, unmatched efficiency of this communication. When you witness the imposing stance and undeniable physical presence of a Land Cruiser out in the wild, its commanding height, its aggressive styling, sometimes words just fail you. Stanzomania suggests that perfectly encapsulates that pure, unadulterated speechlessness, and by doing so, it renders all other automotive specs completely and utterly unnecessary. Honestly, why rattle off horsepower, torque figures, or ground clearance when you can capture the raw, emotional human response in a single breath? The Land Cruiser doesn't need to justify its existence with numbers. Its mere presence commands the ah.
So the crucial point is, the absolute sum of our knowledge from this source material is beautifully barren. The creator is Stanzomania. The make and model is the Toyota Land Cruiser. The year is 2021, and the spoken dialogue is simply, ah. Think about the immense confidence it takes to present this to an audience.
The creator's absolute refusal to add anything more is what makes it so brilliant and captivating. They give us the subject, they give us the reaction, and they deeply trust us, the audience, to fill in all the rest of the blanks. They know that if you understand the aura of the Land Cruiser, you don't need the specs. And if you don't understand the Land Cruiser, well, no amount of technical jargon is ever going to explain the feeling.
And this brilliantly illustrates a much larger point for all of us as we consume these endless, deafening streams of media every single day. I want to leave you with a provocative question to ponder long after this explainer is over. What does your mean? This source material actively challenges our desperate, almost addictive need for verbose, over-explained content. It strips away our conditioned expectations and leaves us to really reflect on the sheer, undeniable power of saying almost nothing at all. The next time you see a 2021 Land Cruiser, or frankly anything else in this beautiful world that completely stops you in your tracks, maybe you don't need 1,000 words to describe it. Maybe you don't need a massive paragraph. Maybe just one word will do. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning what you watch.